this on test for a number of weeks now, and I'm very impressed with the face unlock system. It's not something I normally use as a face unlock system, but it recognised my face, it unlocks the screen even in the dark, and it just seems to be very good. Even with glasses on or obstructions on my face, it works very, very well indeed. The interface is nice and slick. You can see that lovely moving rear cloud there. It sort of moves around. You can see how many steps I've done, my recent apps here. I like the fact that we've got settings in here which is really clear and easy to understand. You can go into apps, you can set the notifications, and you can see which ones are currently open and running, and you can stop them very easily indeed. It's very, very smooth, very easy to navigate around. The display here, the only thing that I have found is this brightness here. It's adaptive, but in the dark sometimes the screen goes a bit too dim, and I would like to maybe increase that and have it stick that way, because sometimes when you go into the day and then back into the dark, it goes too dim again, even when you adjust it out. You've got a reading mode here, so you can sort of make it easier for your eyes. You can turn on the reading mode even. You can set obviously the screen inactivity, the calibration here. You can change the colours. I've got it on vivid, which is very nice. You can switch to AMOLED wide gamut, and you can even tweak with some of these advanced settings here, which is really cool. It goes into a real fine level of detail. The screen refresh rate, obviously, it's beautiful to look at. I love the high refresh rate on here. It's especially good for video content. The audio on the speakers is something I really want to talk about here, because the audio that comes out of these speakers when you're watching it in widescreen is fantastic. By the way, we're talking about widescreen. Here you can set which apps default always to be in widescreen. Got a night mode, got a video enhancer, which is currently off, but you can switch that on, and that makes your videos look even glossier than they currently are. You can change all sorts of bits in the settings here, the display size, the font size. So you can change the size of your, if you've got if you just want the text to be bigger. I won't even say eye issues or eyesight issues, because some people just like big text. Just makes it easier to see when you're on a train or a plane or a bus. So that's all that's in display. We've got the customization. Obviously you can see that wallpapers there, and I can switch that around and then have different wallpapers. These are all sort of active wallpapers, and they will nicely move around in the background. They really have got a very good style to them, these OnePlus phones. And here's the wallpaper, and here, by the way, this always on screen. I like this. When you're driving around, it will pop up and it'll say, hey, Google Maps is using your GPS location in the background. It gives you little hints about what applications are running in the background. You can obviously go into the settings, I'll do that in a minute, and I can adjust what apps run in the background. We've got clock styles here, and these will show when you're not using your phone on the screen. So I like that one there. And we've got a huge amount of customization that you can do here. I've got, and you will notice here, the navigation system that I've got here is quite cool. I can slide my finger up from the bottom halfway up, and it will show me all the apps that are currently running, including this one that's actually recording this video, and I can switch between them. Likewise, if I want to go back, I just sweep from the left hand side in. I can sweep the other way and go forwards. It's a cool little navigation system. It means you don't have to have a home button or a back button or anything like that, which is really quite cool. Now, what was I going to talk about? The battery stuff. So let's have a look at that. So here's the apps and notification. All you do is just go into your app screen, and you can go into whatever app it might be. So all four here, click on that one, and you can go into the battery optimization, and you can either tell it to optimize and restrict it, really lock it down. You can tell it not to optimize at all, which is good if you want an application running in the background all the time. And then you can have this intelligent control, which actually tells you when an app might be unnecessarily running in the background, and then you can sort of decide what you want to do. Loads of settings in there. Screen time, which is something you can set here. You can set app timers, and you can basically adjust the screen time. It's probably easier. Let me just see if I can find this here in the Google settings. Gosh, it's cold out here. I'm out here. So digital well-being. So this is very much like the iPhone sort of side of things. You can set up parental controls and you can lock down the phone. Really good. We've got the quick launch here, long press of the finger, so you can basically, by the way, the fingerprint unlock works very well. Considering it's an on-screen fingerprint unlock, it works very well. We've got this OnePlus laboratory thing as well. We've got DC dimming, and I could go on all day about the extra bits and bobs in here. So you can see here it dims the screen and when it's charging. It's just to aid the charging speed, really. We've got the OnePlus switch, which is on the side here. Whoops, here we go. Not on the side. What I'm talking about the other switch. This is to actually switch to a OnePlus phone. So if you're sending from this phone to another phone, or if you're receiving data into this phone and you're upgrading from another handset, really good. Backup and restore, all that stuff. Nice and easy to get going, because that's the thing people don't like. They don't like having a new phone all the time because they have to move all that stuff over from the old phone to the new phone. But it's really good. Parallel apps here, you can add those in. There's a little bit of information about what that is, I'll tell you in a minute. Yes, here we go, the buttons and gestures. Now, we've got an alert slider here. Now, this is on the side, this is a switch I was talking about. Now, you can either have it on silent, vibration or ring. It's just a 3-step switch on the side. So if I flick it once, up, vibrate, up again, silent, down all the way to the bottom, ring. So it's really good. It's a little switch on the side of the OnePlus 7T. You flick it in one of 3 different locations and it will do one of those 3 things. Really good. You've got these quick gestures here. You can flip to mute. You can do all that really cool stuff. Double tap to wake if you want. That was something that I really liked on, was it the LG phones? You double tap it and wakes up. Really good if your phone's just flat on the desk and you're not using it in your hand. You can just double tap it just to wake it up and see what's going on. Crikey, I could go on all day about this stuff. This is the gestures that I mentioned, the back, the home, and the recents. Now I've got the navigation gestures on that I was talking about before, where you can go back. You can see here some instructions on how to use it. This is the home screen where I was moving my finger up into the middle, and then we've got the recent apps, and we've got the switching between the current apps, which is really easy, sliding, and then landscape is a similar sort of thing. Really good. You get used to it, or if you want, we can switch back to, let's just put that, you can recording of the screen. Don't ask me why, but what I've found is that on if you're using the normal buttons here, the Gboard, the Google keyboard here, displays very well, as you can see, as normal, and you can type in hello there and usual stuff. But if you switch back to the gesture driven control, the bottom of the Gboard still displays it displays a grey bar where those icons are, where the triangle and the circle and the square are. So it actually wastes a bit of space. I'm not entirely sure whether Google needs to change or make an update to Gboard in order to drop the keyboard down to swallow up that grey area, but it sort of doesn't win you any screen real estate. So yeah, that's the 2 different ways that you can actually navigate around the screen. The little additions, like the fact that the one there is a OnePlus Red. The phone itself is rapid as rapid can be. You can go down here and I can show you about it. Obviously it's got the 90 Hz screen. You can knock it down to 60 Hz if you want, but why would you? It's crazy. All the little bits of tweaks that OnePlus have done, like they've altered the animations so that they look better on the 90 Hz screen. We've got a very, very fast Snapdragon 855 Plus. We've got a beautiful looking handset. The OnePlus 7T is gorgeous to look at. It's lovely to hold, by the way, as well. It's a great phone. I love the screen unlock. The fingerprint unlock works very well indeed. I love the little tiny additions it's got. The battery management is not really in your face. It's very in tune with your activities. We've got obviously the latest Android 10, so it comes with all the latest and greatest bits that Google can deliver as well. The triple camera on the back is fantastic. I've shown you that in a previous video. Have a look at that. You can also see what else did I put on the previous video? The unboxing of this phone as well. As I mentioned, the battery is really good on it. With that, battery management works very well. The digital well-being is a good little addition. The background animation, all that little extra little touches, it makes it one lovely package rather than a nice phone lumped on top of Android. The whole thing works fantastically well. It's got NFC for your tappy payments, as you mentioned here. The Bluetooth works very well. You've got lots of additional bits under the hood. Probably not really enough time to show them all here, but the interface, as you can see, is lovely and smooth. Everything works fantastically well. I've got a bit of 4G, so let's just try, if we go to Chrome and we go, let's see if the 4G is going to work very well. Come on, I'm out in a field, as you can probably hear. So you can see it's smooth like butter, the whole thing is. We'll try and put a little video on as well, see if that works. By the way, these are the additional bits and bobs. You've got a file manager to look around. I'm still sweeping with the old system. We've got a community, so you can go in there and you can get your questions answered and find out more about the phone and what it can do and get help and assistance. We've got the OnePlus switch, which I've shown you before, and what else have we got? The weather. What's the weather going to be like? It is pretty rubbish. Rain, showers, partly cloudy Saturday and then rain. All good, something to look forward to. And you can see, look at the animations, lovely little animations, beautifully done. What else have we got? We've got Family Link on there, that's something I installed. My fitness app. What else have we got on here? Show you all the Google bits, obviously, because OnePlus haven't got the same issues that Huawei are going to have very soon. You can have all the latest Google stuff on there, and it's just a lovely phone. For the price, for what you're getting, it's a fantastic phone. The OnePlus 7T, I have been using this now for 3 and a bit weeks as my main driver, and it really is a very good phone for the money. I've said this before, but I always have to give these phones back to the people that give me them, the PR people and the companies involved. But this one I really don't want to give back. Fantastic phone, nice and slick, very intuitive. It's a brilliant phone. I heartily recommend this one.